this hat on because I'm having a bad hair day. I haven't been doing my hair. I was supposed to get it braided, but my sister never braided it, so that's why I have this hat on. Don't come for me, please don't. I'm like going through it. I ain't got my brows aren't done. I ain't got no makeup on. I ain't got no lashes on. I even got contacts in. I can barely even see myself, and I got a hat on. So, cause you know my business. Don't do that.
Pull up G-Wax C3, make a 55 suck they teeth. He want a menage with
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another freaking video. Got your girl here, Bay Alexis. And before we get started into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know something in the comment section down below, you know, whatever. Yeah, as you guys know already by the title of the video, this is a story time about how I got COVID-19. So, just give a little rundown, you know, whatever. Last month was my friend's birthday, and which was October, and she decided she wanted to go to Atlanta and see her family and everything, and all this and that. And at first, I couldn't get the days off because somebody else had the days off, and only one person at my job can take off. It's weird. But somebody actually gave their off days to me, so I went only for the weekend. And I was telling her, like, you know, maybe we shouldn't go to the club because, you know, the COVID thing is real, like, it's happening. And from us coming from the Bay, which is like strict, stuff is still shut down, masks on everywhere, to where Atlanta, where there's barely anybody with masks on and all this and that. I'm like, we gonna end up catching it. But after, I was like, you know what? We fine. We good. So I get a plane ticket. I end up flying by myself because I was only going for the weekend because I couldn't get all the days off. My friend was going for the whole week. So I flew United, and keep the airline in mind because it's going to come up later. So I got my tickets. Tickets was hella cheap. And then a week later, after I got my ticket, which I bought my ticket probably like a month before the trip, they like switched my flight. So before I had a nonstop flight, and then they made me, so my flight going into Atlanta was, I had to stop in Denver, and coming back I had to stop in Chicago. Fast forward the story, we flew in, had fun, we went to some clubs, I met up with her family, met up with her sisters on her dad's side, and on our way back, this is the part where stuff was like a little so my flight from San Francisco to Denver was only like an hour. And then from Denver to Atlanta was like probably like 2.5 hours. But when I was leaving Atlanta, I had to go from Atlanta to Chicago, from Chicago to San Francisco. Now from Chicago to San Francisco, that's a long flight. It was like a 4.5 hour flight, and I'd never been on a flight that long, let alone San Francisco to Vegas is like an hour, and I'm already antsy. So it was at nighttime, so like I wasn't really feeling too good. So anytime I fly, like I did feel sick every time I flew, like from Vegas. And I think it's just, you know, the weather and all this and that. California had a lot of fires when I was traveling, so it's a lot of not hormone. You know the word like when you your sinus, my whole lot of sinus issues going on. So on the trip back to San Francisco from Chicago, like I was feeling like a little uneasy, but I kept falling asleep because it was nighttime and the time zone. By the time I got to San Francisco, it was like 10. I go to sleep early. Okay, I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. So I was tired, so I kept falling asleep and kept waking up. But I had a headache, and I get headaches so often, like it's crazy. Headaches and migraines, like nobody's business. So I wasn't thinking like I'm sick or anything. I'm just thinking like I've been on this plane for hell long. It was a baby crying. I'm like, yeah, no. So I stayed the night at my friend's house, and I was supposed to go to work the next morning, but I call out, and I leave my friend's house that morning, and then I'm just in my bed, and I was chilling. I had to babysit my niece and nephew. I'm like, I don't feel good. Like I still have a headache, and like I felt usually when I fall asleep, my headache goes away. And then so I'm cool. That's on Monday. Then on Tuesday, I wake up and I think I still have the photos. If so, I'll put it right here. I wake up to go. I was about to go to work, and then my headache felt so bad, and I was so hot. So I took my temperature. Luckily, my job gave us all like a COVID kit or whatever with masks, hand sanitizer, thermometer, all that stuff. So I took my temperature. It was like, I think it was like 104, 105. I was like, oh my God. So I sent it to my manager. I said, hey, like, I can't come into work. Like, my temperature. Mind you, they check our temperatures at my job. So I text both of my managers, sent them a picture. I'm like, hey, I can't come in, and I'm gonna go get tested. So I called my doctor, and he had a test available the next day, luckily. So I went to go get tested. And the day I went to go test it, which was, now we're on Wednesday, I had a headache, body ache, fevers, chills. What else I had? I had something else. Oh, my eyes. Like, I could barely keep my eyes open. Like, they were just running. I was like, oh, this is not good. Mind you, I'm the only one on that whole entire trip who had symptoms and who was sick. My friends wasn't sick. Her family wasn't sick. Her mom that lives out here with us in the Bay, she wasn't sick. Nobody was sick except me. And I only went for the weekend. Like, I was like, oh my God. So fast forward, so now on Thursday, like, Thursday I felt better. I didn't have, I still had a headache, but I didn't have like a fever. I didn't have chills. It was just like, I just had a headache. And I feel like what got me better that the whole next day was at night. Like, always have my fan on because I get hot at night. I sweated so much that night, like I had to wash everything. And I feel like that was the reason what helped me like get rid of the cold. But yeah, so Thursday went by, and then Friday come. Me. So Friday my test results came back. It said if I have, I'm pretty sure I still have it, but if I have it, I'll post it like right here. It said positive, abnormal, something like it's been detected into your system that you have COVID-19. I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, what the heck? So I ended up being positive. I was like, this is so bad. So I immediately text my manager, like, mind you, I checked my results. They sent it to me at midnight, but I didn't think they would send results at that time. So I sent it to them at like 7. When I went back to sleep and woke up at like 7. I sent them. They were, everybody on their way to work except me, of course. And they had to shut down and everything. But luckily, I was already on PTO before I had symptoms, so technically they were fine. I'd say probably like kind of like a week later, like 5 days later, that's when my symptoms, like I was chilling, honestly. But then I had Chipotle, and I'm like, who made this Chipotle? Like, this tastes like nothing. And then I'm like, you know what? Sometimes Chipotle I go to, they follow by the rules and stuff, and they stuff be too bland. I'm like, you know what? I give them another try. Next day, I can't taste a thing. I'm like, what the? Oh, they need to get fired. So by themselves gets Jack in the Box. I'm like, I can't taste nothing. Like, what's going on? I was like, I lost my taste and smell. Mind you, I use Dr. Bronner soap. That's the only soap I can use because like my skin is so sensitive. And that, if you guys know that soap is strong. Like, and I get the peppermint one, and I couldn't smell a thing. I'm like, oh my God, I really have COVID. And so, like, I couldn't taste or smell for, like, a whole week. Like, that, honestly, to me, and rest in peace to all the people who died from this and who's going through this, like, hard. Because I know, like, for me, I know I have a good immune system. Like, I used to track. I'm healthy. I still run sometimes. Still work out. I eat healthy-ish. Like, the worst part for me about the whole COVID-19 was the taste and smell. Because it made me depressed. Like, even like when I finally went back to work 2 weeks later, like all my coworkers like, wow, you look so, like, your face looks so skinny. And I feel like that's because I was literally eating like once a day. And sometimes I eat just soup. Now let's get into where the steps where I possibly got it. I have a few theories in my head of how I got it, but I'm not too sure. So a few of the people that we was traveling with and hanging out with in Atlanta, like I said, nobody had symptoms, but my friend told, of course, everybody who we were around, like, hey, y'all need to go get tested because, my friend got COVID-19. They went to go get tested. 3 of the girls that we were with, and they all live in the same house, had it. So I'm like, that's a little risky. But I'm not, and disclaimer, I'm not blaming nobody. I feel like I did get it on my own, but it's kind of weird. Like, it's mine, like, it's mine for me, how, like, I don't know where I got it from. So they had it, and we're the only people that had it, but I'm the only one that really had symptoms. And then also on United, like, so United didn't already started where everybody's full on the plane, like there's no seat gaps or anything. So there was this lady in front of me. I think she was on the plane from Denver to Atlanta. And she was completely covered. But the thing about it, she kept coughing and she was right in front of me. But I wasn't thinking none of it because, like, she probably just got a regular cold. Like, she wouldn't be on this plane with whole COVID-19. But I don't know. So I contact United Airlines and I call them. I'm like, hey, I have COVID, and I was on like a few of your planes. She was like, what? I was like, I have COVID. I was on a few of your planes. I'm trying to let y'all know. And she was like, so you want to cancel your flights? I'm like, I was already on your planes and I have COVID. She's like, oh, okay. Let me transfer you. Okay, I was like, okay. So I talked to them, and you can tell, like, they didn't know what to do in this situation, because they were just like, well, we'll just let everybody, we'll email everybody that you were on a plane with. It looks like you were on like 4 planes. I was like, yeah. And we'll just email everybody, like, and then we'll call you back, okay? Mind you, never to this day got a call back, and it's been like a month and a half. Anyways, so hopefully they did email everybody that was on that plane. But all the planes I was on, but I feel like they didn't. I feel like they didn't really know what I was talking about. Kind of the lady on the phone. But I did my part. So, like I said, what made me better was when that night I sweated like everything out, and yeah, cause I didn't take any medicine. I didn't take no NyQuil, DayQuil. I didn't take no painkillers, anything. I was like, I'm gonna do this naturally, get it over with. The only thing I did was I drank my tea. I always drink green tea, or I drink ballerina tea, because help me flush out everything. And I just had water, and that's it. But besides everything, everybody's fine. I'm fine now. But yeah, that was my experience having COVID-19. I have to say it was pretty depressing. Like, and I feel like the messed up part is having to quarantine by yourself for 2 weeks straight. Like, I could see why people were depressed, because it's not fun at all. And then especially from going from Atlanta, turning up every night, having to being in a room 14 days. It's like, it's not fun. But, that's my story. Having COVID-19. But for everybody who has it, who's going through it, I know the cases are up, especially in California. It's crazy. Like, I know a few people who has it right now, so it's crazy. If you guys have any questions related to the topic, off topic, let me know in comments down below. I'll be looking at them. But other than that, thank you for tuning in. Stay safe, and see you guys next time.